Hello, and welcome to Round Glass. My name is Lisa Kring. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a senior mindfulness teacher and a longtime practitioner of Vipassana Buddhism. So I'm so happy to be here with you right now, practicing love and kindness, an ancient practice that dates back to the Buddha that allows us to unburden our hearts in relationship to those who are difficult. This is a deep practice for us all, would you not agree? And just offering this prompt and exploring this for yourself, and please share in the chat. It's really a beautiful opportunity to practice in community in the way that we are right now. So please share with all who are present. And the prompt is to just inquire and to feel into whether your heart is closed to those who are difficult in your life. So you can feel into that, and please share in the chat. And as you do, I'm just going to offer just a few words as an introduction before we move into this very profound practice. So just leading with that question, is your heart closed to those who are difficult in your life? For most of us, this is true. It's true for most of us that our heart naturally, instinctively closes to those who are difficult. But what we learn through this practice is that actually a closed heart only hurts us. According to the Buddha, holding resentment in our hearts for another is akin to holding a hot coal in your hands. It literally only burns us. Therefore, in this session of this series on loving kindness practices, as it was taught by the Buddha, we'll be cultivating natural kindness in our hearts, even for those we experience as difficult, mainly as a way to transform our suffering and to be free, no matter who we are with, perhaps especially for those we experience as difficult. So just really thanking everyone who did share in the chat. Someone, it's funny, it makes me laugh. Someone simply just said yes, and I'm sure you all resonate with that. Someone else said that they try and be open, but that their heart closes once they sense the difficulty. Yes. This is natural. This is a protective function of the heart, but we learn that when we stay closed, when we harbor resentment, and aversion to others, it really only burns us up from the inside. It makes us suffer more. Someone else shared their heart is cautious but never closed. And that's beautiful. That's very wise. But we'll allow ourselves to go a bit deeper now into this process of seeing what it's like to allow this incredible power of the heart. This is a quality of the heart in loving kindness that is naturally open and kind. And the interesting thing about this quality of loving kindness is that it was originally taught by the Buddha to be a protection, to be protective. Isn't that interesting? Often we feel that when we open our hearts, that we'll be taken advantage of, right? That we'll be hurt even more. This is a quality that is protective. It's a quality that is liberating and free. You don't have to have a relationship with difficult people. You don't have to be in their presence. You can create very safe boundaries for yourself, which is such an important part of kindness to yourself, right? But it's beautiful to free the heart of resentment. And that's really what we're going to explore and to see what that's like, even if you never see this person ever again. So I hope this feels like a really valuable practice, and that it resonates with you as we explore that question of whether our heart is open or closed. And I will be in this meditation, I will be inviting you to consider, to bring to mind a person in your life who is mildly difficult. Please do not pick the most difficult one for this practice, especially if this is the first time that you're doing this. So I will be inviting you to invite somebody who's mildly difficult in your life And just trust the unfolding. I'll make sure that there are safeguards in place so that you can take it at your own pace. There is absolutely no expectation. Just see how this unfolds for you. And the heart has its own logic. And we learn to trust and land in this heart and really support its own unfolding. So I'm excited and very, very happy to be here right now. I love this experience of this live stream, that I'm live with you right now. All our hearts are beating together. So it's beautiful just to feel the support of each other as we move into this practice that does take some courage, yeah? So thank you for joining, and I'm honored to be offering this service, this practice for your liberation. So we'll begin by taking some time to just settle into a posture that feels very supportive. You want to make sure you feel very supported, quite stable. If you like with loving kindness practice, because it does involve the heart gently opening like a flower. I love the image of a flower bloom. Have you ever seen a time lapse of a flower opening? This is a little bit of the process that we're feeling into in the heart. We're letting it unburden itself so that it can really allow, so the heart can fall into its natural state that's already here, always available. But in order for the heart to bloom in this way, it's often indicated, and this dates back to the Buddha, that you really find a posture that's of ease, where you feel relaxed and yet awake. You want to make sure that there's some wakefulness in the body, some energy perhaps in the spine. You want to roll your shoulders back. So I'll just give you a moment to settle in. If you'd like to lay down, if that feels best for you right now, please do. I'm sitting on the ground with my legs crossed. You do not have to copy or imitate me in any way. Please trust your own body and fall into a posture that feels relaxed but at ease and awake. So close your eyes if you like once you settle in. Take a moment to just rest in the body at ease, and we'll take just the first minutes to rest in the body and to feel the ease of the body as a way to set the stage for the heart's unfolding. So closing your eyes if you like, go ahead and just drop the awareness, and we are cultivating a quality of mindful awareness with it, which is unconditionally curious and open, receptive, non-judgmental, very kind and caring. And allow this quality of awareness to drop down into this body now. And just notice, very naturally, you don't have to work at this. Just notice the natural ease in the body wherever you feel it right now. In supportive ease, you can take a nice deep cleansing breath in, breathing in deeply. Really feeling, allow the breath to bring you into an embodied presence. As you breathe in, feeling the breath as you drink it in. And in supportive ease, as you breathe out, allow the whole body to relax and unwind and release. Take a few deep cleansing breaths and let these breaths be an experience of kindness, of nourishment as you breathe in, the gentle flow of the breath, just feeling the natural intake of the breath. And then as you breathe out, allowing this to be a gentle cleansing wave that flows through the whole body, releasing the muscles around the face and the jaw. Also, maybe there's tension around the heart and the chest area, and you can just notice, feel into the truth of that if that's the case for you, for whatever reason right now. And as you breathe out, see what it's like to soften around the heart center. Our hearts can be very burdened. And see what it's like to physically soften the muscles, the area around the heart center. Opening and releasing there as well. Letting go in the belly, soft belly. And with every breath, you can now allow the breath to just return to its natural rhythm and flow, which it will on its own if you don't interfere. And I'd like to invite you to just sit back and rest for a moment in the gentle waves of breath. And just allow them to bathe and cleanse the body as you breathe in and out. And just for a minute or so, rest wherever you feel ease in the body right now, naturally, when you can get out of your own way. Let the breath be a gentle, natural rhythm that anchors the awareness in the ease of the body, the breathing body. And let's take some moment as you rest in ease of the body, the weight of the body held and supported and literally cradled by the earth. Just rest, cradled, supported, caressed by each breath. And take a moment to set the intention for what brought you here to this particular session right now. You can feel into the very good and kind heart that brought you here. And you can even put one or both hands on the heart center. You can really feel this as a way to connect to the goodness that brought you here, that truly wants your heart to be free. Even in relationship to those who are challenging, that you can be free, unburdened. Even in relationship to these kinds of beings in your life. So feel into the potential of your own heart. Something very deep within you brought you here. Excuse me. And this can be celebrated right now. And let that anchor, that good heart, let it be a deep anchor of intentionality as you proceed into this practice right now. So taking this time to settle, to rest in the ease of the body, letting the body lead. And very gently, we'll begin to move into the loving kindness practice. And to warm up the heart and also to establish some safety. See what it's like to bring to mind a very beloved being in your life. This can be an animal or it can be a human being. This is a being who, when they walk in the room, you feel very loved and safe. Your heart opens and blooms naturally in their presence. It's not work at all. It just is a natural, beautiful experience of heart flow, of kindness, whenever this being walks into a room. So bring them to mind as if they're with you right now. Allow them to become quite vivid in your mind's eye and place them anywhere in the room around you as if they're here. in a way that feels best, where they're close by, it feels appropriate given your relationship to them, and that they're close enough and really feeling their presence because they do live in your heart. And let them be a support. Let them be a heartfelt support so that you don't feel alone in this practice. And let them settle in with you, keeping you safe and protected. Their kindness, your kindness for them, as a kind of shield. As you feel them with you, just resting in their presence, really feeling as if they are with you now, allowing that image of them to become quite vivid. Do take a time to soak and rest in the kind heart that naturally, like a warm sun rising in the sky, the light of kindness just begins to shine in your own heart center in their presence, and see what it's like to just let that shine. Let it radiate. You might feel the warmth of kindness, this natural warmth. It's something that you can feel. It's not abstract. It's a warm glow of goodwill, of wishing this beloved being well, and letting that warm and kind heart, like a warm sun that begins to radiate and glow, make sure that you feel its glow and that you bask and soak in that light as well, that you feel the nourishment of your own kind heart. Enjoy it for just a moment in the presence also of this beloved being who is so supportive, who you hold in your heart, and who is such a natural partner in kindness. Now, when you're ready, as the beloved being stays in presence with you as a supportive anchor, when you feel ready, begin to now invite a being in your life who is mildly difficult or challenging for you. Make sure it's mildly difficult. On a scale from 1 to 10, about a 4. So see who shows up. It's quite mysterious, these practices. The heart will know. And see what it's like to accept who has shown up as best as you can. And keep them at whatever safe distance you need to do in your mind's eye, but allowing them to be present so that you can feel into how your heart relates and responds to this difficult being. Let yourself feel this. You can allow this being to be quite vivid in your mind's eye, as I was saying. Depending on the relationship and the level of challenge, you can really keep them at whatever distance. You can allow there to be a wall between you if you like. Allow your imagination to establish whatever conditions allow you to rest in connection with this more difficult being, with the support of the beloved being, of course, always there, right by you, right there with you. And notice what it's like, what arises in the heart. Is the heart open or closed? And it's normal that it would be closed or tight. And for a moment, just reflect on this being. Reflect on their life in perhaps a way that you don't normally. That perhaps this being has had many ups and downs, many challenges. That this being that you experience as difficult or challenging in any way truly just wants to be happy. Just like you, just like me, just like all of us. Take some time to gain some insight and perspective on this being. Just step back and consider them with as big a perspective as you can. Also, see if you can explore and gain any insight that perhaps their behavior, excuse me, that you do experience as difficult or challenging may be a result of them suffering in some way and not being able to manage it with much skill. Perhaps they're struggling and they're having a hard time with this struggle. Often when we cannot hold our own suffering, it naturally spills over into our relationships. So just take a moment to reflect on this more challenging being and get some perspective. And does that shift and open the heart to any degree? As you get a broader perspective that this being, just like you, wants to be happy. For a moment, touch into your own heart, keeping the connection in any way that feels safe and appropriate with this more difficult being, and feel into your own heart in their presence. Does a heart that is closed, does it cause you suffering? Is it actually only harming you and perhaps giving this other being more power over you in your life? Is it taking energy away from you? Is it draining you of valuable energy that you could put into other things in your life that might be more meaningful? So explore this for yourself and see if there's any natural shift where the heart will want to unburden itself. And when you're ready, just offering some phrases. Often we use words in this practice. So offering this being words, and you can just let these words flow and see what resonates for you. See what allows there to be more freedom, more space in your heart to let go. May you be happy in this life. May you be truly happy. I wish you well, that you may find peace. And in finding peace, that you bring peace to others, including myself. May you live your life with more and more ease. May you wake up to the truth and be free. May you be truly happy. And may your happiness be a blessing to all who know you. So offer these phrases and see if the words do offer some kind of magic within your own heart where it transforms the climate. And perhaps there's an inclination in your heart to be kind, to wish them goodwill, to unburden the heart of resentment, fear, aversion. So simply rest in the presence of this being for just another minute and see what it's like to just allow any kindness to flow to them at a safe distance, wishing them well, wishing that they be free of suffering. And in being free of suffering, perhaps not be difficult for anyone, including yourself. When you're ready, you can allow this being to go, and you can let them go. You can give them a deep bow or anything any gesture that feels appropriate in thanking them for showing up. In Buddhism, often it is said that difficult people are often our deepest teachers. And you can ask yourself, what is this difficult person teaching me? Are they a deep teacher in disguise? And this is an opportunity for me to grow, to learn. So give them a deep bow. Say goodbye in any way that feels appropriate. Wish them well if it feels right in your heart to actually wish them well, for all the reasons. And then rest for a moment as we end these last few minutes of this practice. Rest now, just in connection still with the beloved being who's been with you all along, in their presence and support, keeping you safe, giving you good support. Just rest with them. And for a moment, just reflect for yourself on what that experience was like. Was it nice to have support in the heart of a beloved being? Did you notice little flickers of release in your heart as you gained more insight, more perspective, more understanding? Often those who are hurting us or creating harm or challenge in our lives, from a Buddhist perspective, we learn to see it with compassionate eyes, that perhaps they are just really suffering and not managing their suffering skillfully. So when you're ready, you can allow the beloved being to depart, give them a hug or whatever feels appropriate. Celebrate your heartfelt, kind connection with this being. We all need support when we face more challenging people in our lives. Let them go, let that dissolve. And just for this last minute, just rest in a warm and kind heart. Allow it to just radiate like a gentle, natural sun, abundant, always here, enough to go around and then some. And for a moment, just bask and soak in the warmth of your own kind heart and the courage that you showed right now in learning to unburden the heart in this way, in a way that feels very protective, very wise, but liberating and transformative. So rest for just one more minute and reflecting. Did you have any insights into whether this being perhaps is suffering? And did that allow your heart to open for them to any degree with some compassion? Did it allow you to let go of any aversion in the heart? And did that feel free? Do you feel more free as a result of taking this time? This is really what we're learning to feel and experience and to celebrate when we practice loving kindness in this way, even for difficult people in our lives. So I'm going to ring the bowl just to end this meditative period. But of course, this practice never ends for all of us. We all have to learn to be with each other. What a profound practice in this life. And isn't it good to have tools and practices as a way to let go, in a way that feels safe, that feels skillful, that feels wise? Certainly, kindness is one of the deepest things in this world. And if you felt the kindness, even from somebody who's difficult, doesn't it just take your breath away? People can change, just like your heart can change. And this is the beautiful, beautiful inspiration of this practice. So I want to thank you so much for sharing this time together. And please continue to explore the meditations with us. You can check out our daily live stream meditations. You can find them at round.class or on our app. So wishing you well and wishing you freedom, more and more freedom, with a kind and liberated heart in this world, with all beings. Wishing you well until I see you again. Bye for now.